So what's up, Mr. Rob Goddard? Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule today to do this quick video. What are we doing, Rob?
Well, it's interesting because John, first of all, hey, how you doing, buddy? On Monday during the Heroes World Sidekick Show, which you can follow on YouTube if you're not following us there. Why not? You should definitely be watching that every Monday night, live, 8:15 p.m. on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. But last week's episode, we were like, we usually try to figure out what to assign for homework the following Monday. What are we going to watch? What are we going to review? What are we going to talk about? And we didn't know. We didn't have anything for this upcoming show, December the 13th. So John and I, we put our heads together virtually, of course, because, COVID, and we came up with a list of movies. Well, actually, John came up with a list of movies. And I'm going to read off the movies that he had sent to me as to what we could potentially be talking about this Monday on the Heroes World Sidekick Show.
And it wasn't crazy. You know what I did, Rob? I typed into Google Christmas action movies because I wanted it to have an action slant. I don't know if we want to watch a classic, some classic Christmas movie or something like Scrooge. Although Scrooge is a great movie, I feel like our forte is going to be action movies. So let's hear the list, Rob. And you can give me your responses to each one as you go.
Well, it's interesting. I'm glad you told me that because I look at this list and I said, did he just Google this? Because some of these I question whether they're actual Christmas movies. The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis. And Billy Blanks. I don't, see this as being a Christmas movie. But what do I know?
It was Damian Wayans, isn't it?
It is, but Billy Blanks was the football player at the beginning of the movie who's like, "Ain't life a bitch?" And then he, and then went on to make billions doing Tybo. The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Kicking like Tybo.
This is a Rennie Harlan movie with his then wife Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. So this does count as a Christmas themed movie, but it's been years since I saw it. So at least I'll give you that point.
We've mentioned it here and there during our podcast, like even the regular Heroes World podcast, and even this show.
Yeah,
it's come up a couple of times. So when I saw it, I was like,
it could be a contender. Cobra with Stallone. I would never. Like if I'm thinking action movies that take place at Christmas, admittedly, to me the list is not as extensive as what you've sent. But I would never have had Cobra on my list, so that was surprising. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is the Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer vehicle that was written and directed by Shane Black. Shane Black, obviously known for movies that are usually set around the Christmas time, including one of my favorites, the original Lethal Weapon, John. We also have Rocky IV, which I think to say that this is a Christmas-themed movie is a real stretch because it takes place over a number. You could also say it's a Halloween movie.
Yeah. The actual fight, I think, is they're like it's Christmas Day. I think when they finally figure out they're going to do the fight in Russia or something like that. So maybe that's.
But is it Christmas Day in Russia or is it Christmas Day in the U.S.? Therefore, it's ahead, so it'd be Boxing Day in Russia. Gremlins, the Spielberg movie Gremlins, which I was at 1986, I think, or so. So I was it's been a long time since we've seen the exploits of Gizmo and Spike.
Your boy, Gizmo.
That's right, my boy. This one knocked me off my ass, John. Prometheus.
Yeah, it was on there. I was like, hey, I've never seen Prometheus.
Well, I have, and I can tell you there's absolutely zero about Christmas in this movie. I would never attribute that to being a Christmas movie. And then we landed on, which is the last entry here, which is what we're going to talk about, which is Die Hard 2. Because as you know, if you're a fan of the Heroes World Sidekick Show, you know that John and I, we this year, I believe it was, John, we went through an extensive 80s action movie bracket. I think it lasted like 9 weeks. And it
was probably one of our longest segments.
Right. And we crowned Die Hard. Yeah, we crowned Die Hard to be the winner of the 80s action movie bracket in, I would say, John, maybe fairly unfairly, but in good part because Die Hard is a Christmas staple that most people watch Die Hard at least once a year. And when they do, it's generally around this time of year. Would you agree?
100%. Yep.
Right. But do we watch, and does anybody watch Die Hard 2 with the same love, the same attention? Because it too takes place on Christmas.
Yeah,
So
I
that
think one
is
of the
what.
lines is I did this last year at Christmas or something like that. You
Yeah,
know?
I can't. How can the same thing happen to the same guy twice at Christmas? So
Yeah.
that was a line uttered by John McClane, also played by Bruce Willis. So we are here. John and I are going to be requesting your presence on Monday, December the 13th at 8:15 p.m. as we dive into Die Hard 2. Die Hard 2. For a couple reasons. One, is it a good sequel to Die Hard, which is we crowned the greatest action movie of the 80s? Two, is it a decent Christmas movie? And three, if it is, why do we never talk about it at Christmas? Why is it always just Die Hard and we kind of like we forget?
Is
Die
it
Hard
just
2
so
exists?
outshined by its older brother, Die Hard 1, that
Which
we just don't care?
exactly. Also of note, John, directed by Rennie Harlin, who did Long Kiss Goodnight. So yeah. So we're gonna see. But John, I think you've got a surprise for right now, don't you? Do you have a
I pulled the trailer for it. So it's the very first, according to the interwebs, the first theatrical trailer that they released for this movie. It's only a minute and something and change. So we're gonna watch it. It's been, I can't even remember the last time I watched this movie. I don't remember anything about it other than
seriously?
other than maybe it takes place at an airport. So it's been a minute. Yeah, every time you go, you watch Die Hard 1. So let's watch the trailer. We'll talk a little bit about it after, and then please tune in on Monday for the show where we actually fully review this movie and decide whether it should be included in our Christmas viewing. So let's watch the trailer. I can't talk. I've never been able to talk, so hopefully one day I'll get it.
Probably not.
Probably not. All right, so there's going to be a certain magic to these old trailers, I think.
Emergencies. We are in a code yellow.
Instrument lighting system is down.
Backup systems won't come up. Every system's dead.
These guys shut us
down. Attention all controllers. We have a code red alert. We just bought maybe 2 hours. After that, those planes low on
I would
fuel
not
are
think
gonna
this
be
is a Die
circling.
Hard movie from this intro.
They're going to be dropping on the White House lawn.
I want every officer recalled and assembled in body armor with full weaponry in the motor pool in 5 minutes.
That guy always plays the cop.
It's time to kick it.
Our SWAT team's gone.
Well, maybe they're just a little bit more creative than you think.
Start looking for a new miracle.
Who the hell is this?
We don't need a loose cannon on this deck.
You get the hell out of my office before I
Almost
throw you out
landing.
of my damn airport.
You're the wrong guy in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Story of my life.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice.
I spent Christmas last year.
They were wrong.
McLean, is this what you were expecting?
Nah, this is just the beginning.
Bruce Willis, Die Hard 2. Die Harder.
Yes.
June 29th. I don't remember the year for this movie, but
1990. I want to say 92 or 91.
so they dropped a Christmas movie in the summer.
Yeah.
The high point of the summer. I think, end of June, early August is definitely the height
It was
of
1990,
summer.
John. 1990.
Back in the 90s. That's how confident they were in this franchise,
But-
that they were going to be like Christmas theme, middle of the summer. Let's rock and roll.
Wow, it worked. Didn't it work for Batman Returns? Didn't they do the same thing? Wasn't that also
I think that's debatable, but yeah, okay.
It was a summertime movie, Batman Returns, but it was a Christmas movie. Why are we not actually reviewing that one?
We
Hey-
did it on the Heroes World podcast, so
That's true, we did. So, John, I gotta tell you. I mean, this trailer is so funny. Like they're burying the lead right to the very end. Like what it is, right? But the best part, it's so 90s. Like this is that part in 90s action movies that really helped define the first half of the 90s, right? Because after that, it got really crazy. But it's Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
with each letter. Imagine if it was a more elaborate title.
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes later, here's the title of the movie.
The bridges of Madison County just dropping letter by letter by letter.
I'll tell you, those type of sequences and stuff you can put together now on the web like so easily. And I bet you back in the day that was a big deal to get all those letters animated and everything cut together. But yeah, Bruce Willis looking hella good in that. He's looking
Still has hair.
looking very young. Yeah, still has hair.
Right.
Looks pretty good. I didn't recognize any of that in my head, I picture
really?
some type. Yeah, I picture some type of airport scene.
Yep.
And him on the conveyor belts and stuff like that. So
Yep.
we'll see if that's actually in it, or maybe I'm mixing it up with another movie.
No, you're absolutely correct. That does,
yeah.
John. Rest assured, you're not losing your mind. That is a part of the movie.
Yeah. So so I think that's the very reason that we're gonna watch this, and see if there's a reason why it's forgotten, or maybe it's its bigger brother is just taking all the spotlight, and it's still a fun ride, because I feel like I'm not gonna know what's coming next in this movie, other than he does win the day, and other than people do say it is basically the same movie done over again. So we'll see how close that is. Are you looking forward to watching this, Rob? I think you were originally leaning towards this one anyways.
I was,
because we popped the other ones into the streaming kind of in Canada. So this one is streaming on Disney Plus, part of the I guess the Stars
extension,
or whatever, the
Stars edition, or whatever it is. Yeah, on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie a fair amount of times, because I remember growing up thinking this is a decent action movie. It's been a couple of years since I've seen it. Maybe about 3 or 4 years, but I do enjoy it. But will I, 5 years, sometimes 3, 4, 5 years, however long it's been, sometimes, your opinions change as we get older. So I am looking forward to revisiting this. But the idea, this is why I want to do this movie, is that the idea that this takes place at Christmas, it is the sequel to the biggest movie of one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. It's the one every year. I've already seen articles, John, is Die Hard at Christmas? People like, of course it is. Of course it is. Die Hard 2 is never mentioned, and we're going to get to the bottom as to why that is, John. So I'm really looking forward to discussing this.
Yeah, this is us crawling through the vents of Die Hard 1.
Yeah, exactly.
For your Christmas ornaments, I'm going to use this for the thumbnail probably. But yeah, look at this. I don't know if you coincidentally froze right during that moment, but that was awesome. So thank you everybody for tuning in. This is going to be going down Monday. What is it going to be? December
13th.
December 13th at 8:15. We are going to be talking about this movie live. So please join us. Ask questions. Bust our chops on our opinions. Come up with your favorite scenes, least favorite scenes. Maybe you hated this movie. Maybe you love this movie. Maybe you love it more than the first one. That'll be a very interesting question.
Oh, that's interesting.
All this time has passed, and maybe you've seen Die Hard 1 so many times that you're like, you know what? I actually quite like Die Hard 2 better, just because I don't know every single step that John McClane is going to make on this day. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Runner up, I think we can say, was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. But I like the fact that we're going back to the 80s. I think that's pretty cool. Like Last Boy Scout, if that was streaming on something, I think I would have kind of tried to push us towards there, but it's not. I think it's via the Stars app, and not a lot of people have that. So
on Crave,
thank you very much. Yeah, on Crave. Yeah, you have to have the Crave, and then you also have that Stars extension. Not a lot of people are opting for that Stars extension. So interesting debate that maybe we can have later. But thank you everybody for tuning in to this trailer reaction. Hopefully we'll see you all on Monday. Rob, any parting words?
Just enjoy getting die-hearted.
Die-harder.
Die-harder.
I was going to ask you a question. I'm like, did this have the subtitle Die Harder?
Yes, it
and
did.
I'm like, yes, it did.
Yes, it did. I remember the posters for this, man. I remember always thinking with my friends, if they make a third one, will it be Die Hardest?
Die Hardest or good. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of plays on the word die that they could add to this franchise if it ever pops its head back up again. Who knows? Even so much so that I think the most recent thing was last year they did a Die Hard Battery crossover.
So bad.
Which was really humorous. So thank you everybody. We'll see you on Monday. Please tune in.
Yep.
If not, check out our other content. You're going to be seeing Andre and Jesse soon on TGF Fridays. I think So What I Missed comes back this Thursday. If you're down with that, we're going to play around with the format a little bit. And then, the Heroes World podcast will be on Sunday or maybe earlier. We're going to be talking Hawkeye episode 4. I don't know if you've seen it, Rob.
No, tonight. I'm watching it tonight.
Great episode. So thank you everybody
Cool.
for tuning in. We'll check you guys on the next one. Thank you.